The Proton Saga is synonymous with Malaysia. Every Malaysian has a saga story. So beloved are these cars that they remain some of the most popular A-segment saloons on the market. However, the usage of these cars have changed over the last few years with the rise of e-hailing and delivery drivers. So today we speak to a couple of individuals who use their sagas for work, for revenue, to make money, to see why the Proton Saga was their most obvious choice.
Well, the Proton Saga was a car that I quote-unquote grew up with. I was in college, that was my first car, and now I'm commanding a fleet of Proton Saga cars. So for me, it's always been a very special car in my life.
Actually, my first car was a Saga, and then I moved on to a LMST. And recently I picked up the Saga. It's because it's very quiet, and the new powertrain means it's very frugal to run on, and it's a very comfortable car overall, yes.
I love the fact that it's cost-effective, and because of that, I can actually own a fleet of cars. Secondly, the sales and the spare parts are always available. So at any point of time, if I need my cars to be repaired, I know they'll be out in no time. So I have my car spending more time on the road with my drivers rather than them having to keep it at the service center.
I've been driving e-hailing for quite a few years right now, and the things I look for in a car is very simple. First off, it has to be comfortable, it has to be affordable, and this car also has a lot of space for myself and my passengers, and also their cargo actually. And I drive around 8 to 10 hours a day, so it has to be very quiet and very reasonable. Most importantly, it has to be economical in terms of maintenances, so the less time I spend in a mechanic, the more I earn on the road.
If you look at the boot space, it's so big we can fit a lot of bags inside, whether we're taking you to the airport or it's just for festives. And you have ample leg space, you can sit comfortably. I've never had a single complaint from my customers about being comfortable in my car. They spend more time on the road, increasing their revenue, rather than having their cars getting stuck at the service center. So they end up making more money, the car's cost effective, so they pay less in rent. And that's what they love about the car.
So when I'm not using the Saga for work, and when I'm on my trip or my leisure time, the things I love about the Saga is actually the space, that I can bring my friends around, my family around, and nobody has to fight for space, and a lot of luggages go into the back, so it's really not so crowded in the back seat when a lot of people have their things around, and it really pulls its weight when I'm going up a hill. And when I'm handling a lot of people or luggages, it really doesn't suffer. So it's a great car, even when I'm on my leisure time. I love how quiet it is and how serene it is when I'm driving around. And it's actually very economical in terms of mileage and even maintenances. So I don't spend too much on my petrol or my services. And the best part, well, I guess it's the color. It's a rosewood maroon, and it really intrigues a few people when you drive by, and not many people has that color actually. I've always loved the Saga because it's always been a part of my life through different phases. I've even moved my house in my Saga, so it is always a friend that I could rely on.
What's very clear is that the Proton Saga remains dependable, affordable, reliable, and practical, regardless of whether or not you're using these as private cars or for business. We love the Proton Saga, and given the fact that these remain Proton's #1 selling product, it's very clear that a lot of you do too. So, as far as we're concerned, the Proton Saga continues.